Good afternoon, everyone. September 6, 2018. I'm Eric. Some months ago, I did a video about a individual called Selco. He writes for, I believe, the Organic Prepper, but he has another one out there on SHTF Plan where he talks about how no list of supplies you can hoard will prepare you for the fluidity of the situation when shit hits the fan. Which is why you should prepare to be fluid. Now, there's a lot of people out there, they hoard things like solar panels and cases and cases of water, tools, wood, metals, all kinds of stuff. But what if you can't stay where you are? Are you going to drag that shit with you? So that's why you should be prepared to be fluid. If the situation is fluid, you should be as fluid as the situation. Instead of buying big bulky items that you may or may not end up using, maybe you should buy things that will fit on your body. Things that you can throw in a backpack. And don't get me wrong, and there's a place for bugging in. Okay, I'm not saying otherwise, but if the situation gets to the point where you can no longer stay where you're at, you're going to need supplies to get you through until you can reach a settling point. You may not ever see your home again. So, buying all that stuff, sure, it will make surviving easier if you bug in. But I'm thinking, probably, you're only going to be able to bug in for so long, and then you're going to have to move. Say, for example, you live on the East Coast. East Coast is littered with nuclear power plants. And if the situation gets to where the employees of these power plants are so freaked out that they don't want to go to work, and they don't properly shut down the reactors, you're going to have a whole bunch of Fukushimas happening. And then what? Are you going to drag your big bulky supplies with you? I mean, sure, you could have a diesel truck to throw it all in, and that's cool. But what if you get blocked by the military or the police, and you have to go on foot? See, from my point of view, the best way to prepare is being able to throw everything you need in a backpack or two, and being able to walk with it. And don't get me wrong, again, after you do prepare for that, then you buy all the other items that could make your life more comfortable during shit hit the fan. So you can have electricity and water, running water, and all that. So, lightweight food, not canned food. You don't want canned food because that shit's heavy, right? I mean, of course you want to have canned food, but you don't want it in your backpack. You don't want anything that is liquid in your backpack Because liquid is heavy. Another thing people don't think about is clothing. You should have at least one pair of pants, a hoodie, and a shirt in your bag. At least. And some socks. The whole thing. All of it. At least one pair of everything. I advise having bread bags in your supplies and a lightweight pair of shoes, because eventually you're going to have to cross water. If it's cold out, you're definitely going to want an extra pair of socks and shoes in your bag. Well, low-top shoes don't take up very much room. They're not very heavy. So, something to think about, because you throw the bread bags over your feet before you cross the body of water, and you put your boot back on. That way your feet don't get wet. Unless, of course, it's really deep and it gets in the bag anyway. But, you can tape that off and still remain more dry than you would have if you had not done that. I have a whole bunch of bread bags in my bag, in my bug out bag. I also have a armor plate for body armor in a place for that in my bag. You might want to have some body armor. Hard to stab through some body armor, and the plate I have will stop at AK-47 rounds. So, and there's different ratings. I understand Infidel body armor is some of the best shit out there. So, but I respectfully disagree with this Selco guy. You have supplies to enable you to be fluid. You could match the fluidity of the situation, and that's really what you want to do. And another thing you want to do is not be noticed. You don't want to stand out in any way, shape, or form. You want to blend in. Some people call it gray manning. Whatever. Point being is, don't stand out. Don't look too clean, and don't look like you're doing well, because that will give people incentive to follow you and to find out what it is you have. You want to have a dirty appearance. You want to look like shit. If you look like shit, people are going to assume that you're struggling. They won't even give you a second look. But with this pandemic shit being talked about, there's a flight. I have a video processing right now. It will be up before this one, with the Ebola stuff going on, with J.P. Morgan predicting a huge financial crash and major unrest. You can't be too careful. You should really, really think about where you're going to go and what you're going to do. Again, bugging in will work for a while. Stay put, I get it. You stay put until the right moment. Then you dart for the door. And another thing you should be prepared for is the idea people are not going to live by the same rules we live by now. People will be more likely to attack you. People will be more likely to kill you. If you're a woman, rape you. People who are prone to child molestation, same thing. So, if you have children and you have a halfway decent looking wife, you definitely want to be able to defend them. Definitely. These kinds of things, oftentimes they can bring out the best in people, but at the same time, there's people out there, it will bring out their worst. And when you find such people, when you stumble across them, you've got to be able to deal with them. They're not playing by the same rules as we live by now, and you should be prepared to discard these rules as well. You should be prepared to do whatever it takes to survive. And I mean whatever. Short of cannibalism, if you cannibalize, you can end up getting a disease that's very similar to mad cow's disease for humans, and it's just not worth that. Especially when there's bugs you can eat, and grubs, turtle, crawdad, snakes. When it comes to these kind of times, you're going to have to think outside the box when it comes to food. Especially if you're a person that didn't bother to stockpile anything. Dried meats, some canned meat, some dried beans, peas, rice, pasta, peanut butter. That would be an excellent thing to have, peanut butter. These things I highly recommend you have, and if you don't have them, I highly recommend you get them. Everything I named. And remember, don't prepare to bug in until you've got the supplies needed for you to be as fluid as the situation. I could still use your help. I could use a thumbs up, perhaps a share. If I'm worthy of your spare dollars, PayPal link below. Hope you all have a good day. Kill the state, live free.